Hey guys, Truetalk here, and today we're going to be reviewing episode 1 of Black Lightning. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to run down quickly what happened in the episode. Some of it we've seen before in the trailers and everything, but just to quickly run through. The very first thing that we see in the episode is we see that Jefferson and Jennifer are at the police station picking up Anissa because she was arrested for taking part in protesting against the 100 gang, and which got out of hand, and the police cars were set on fire apparently. So that's why she was arrested, and they ended up picking her up. And what happens is they are now heading, after the picking her up, they are now heading to the fundraiser for the Garfield High School that Black Lightning is the principal of. And on the way there, they get pulled over by the police, which you've also seen in another scene where, they get pulled over for no reason, and Black Lightning kind of loses control of his powers for a little bit because of his emotions and anger at the cops, pulling him over for no reason. The next thing that happens is at the fundraiser. They're at the fundraiser, and we see that Anissa, I guess, catches her sister in the bathroom getting ready to leave and go, I guess, clubbing or to a house party as she thinks, but she's actually going to, I guess, the 100 gang or the 100 club, which is a club that is frequented by 100 gang members. And what ends up happening is Black Lightning ends up finding out and using, I guess, tracking on his daughter's phone to locate her. And while he's there, he, gets himself in some trouble and disagreement when he trying to get to his daughter. And he ends up, kind of crashing the club. The police tase him, but that ends up making him stronger because he absorbs the electricity around him. So he ends up hurting 2 police officers and kind of blowing up a cop car in the process, and everyone thinks that Black Lightning is back. After this, which we've kind of deduced from trailers as well, is that he goes to Peter Gamby's shop to get stitched up, and we see that Peter Gamby is really trying to convince Jefferson that, he needs to become Black Lightning again because of everything that is happening in the world and around them. The next thing that we see is that, at school, Jennifer is at school, and we see that the 100 gang member that she was hanging with at the club the night before kind of located her and found her at school and was trying to confront her, try to talk to her, but she wasn't having any of it. Her sister also happens to be there and kind of gets in the way and, flips him practically, which is kind of interesting. And we also see that Jefferson comes in and breaks up the fight as well and tells the dude to basically leave. The interesting part of this episode that wasn't necessarily teased or shown in any of the trailers or scenes is we see that Jefferson has a relationship with a 100 gang, gets leader, member. He's kind of, I guess, one of the, semi-heads of the gang, named Loctavius, or Lala, as people are saying, or his nickname is Lala. And we see that he's going to talk to them because he's had an agreement with all the gangs that his school is a safe zone and that they're not supposed to go there. But obviously the 100 gang member that kind of tried to confront China broke that rule. And while all this is happening, or while he's there, the same 100 gang member comes back to the school and kidnaps Anissa and Jennifer and takes them to the motel. The next thing that happens is he comes back and they all find out that his daughters are taken, the police are there and everything. And then we see him leave and go to Peter Gamby's shop to, I guess, get his suit. And we see that Peter Gamby has a, I guess, basement layer area where he's been working on a new suit for Black Lightning and not the old one from previous years. And we see that Jefferson takes this suit and goes to the motel and basically saves his daughters from the 100 gang and, gets them back. Also in this episode, we see that Lala gets summoned to Tobias Whale, and they end up talking, and Tobias Whale, I guess, has tasked him with getting rid of Black Lightning, killing him or whatever he needs to do to get rid of the problem, because Obviously, Black Lightning is not good for, the business and the gang that he's trying to run. Additionally, at the very end, we see that Anissa, having not control of her emotions, kind of manifests her powers and breaks a sink in her house. That's all for what happened in the episode. Some other things that I want to bring up and talk about that's happened in the episode that I thought were really interesting. It's kind of a quick little tidbit, but in the little speech that the senator lady was introducing Jefferson, she was saying that Jefferson is an Olympic gold medal winner. I find that interesting just because, it's kind of like a quick little fact to note. I'd be interested to see what exactly he won a medal in. Maybe that'll be explained further along in the season. Secondly, another thing, while at the gala, we see that the assistant principal is trying to introduce Jefferson to Lady Eve, who is a funeral home owner and has, a lot of money. Lady Eve in the comics, from my understanding, is a villain, and in the casting description from when the actress was cast, it said that she's going to be the bridge between Tobias and other corrupt people. So this is interesting. It's interesting to see how she plays into the season. I wouldn't be surprised if Lady Eve is set up to be a future big bad for future seasons, or if she is the one that kind of introduces the next big bad for a future season. Next thing I want to talk about is Peter Gamby. I really like that he, hasn't given up hope and really wants Jefferson to remember why he became Black Lightning and become Black Lightning again to, protect the city and, bring hope back to the city. And also, he, that he's been hopeful this whole time is because he's been working on this new suit, which Black Lightning used to get his daughters back. Also, another thing about the suit specifically, I want to say, or I was thinking that, when the 100 gang member shot him, he was able to pull the bullet out. I was thinking that maybe the suit was bulletproof, but we also see in a later scene that he does have a wound, so maybe it's just bullet resistant, so it doesn't necessarily, harm him too much and maybe just leave scratches. But that's interesting to note about the suit. The last thing that I want to talk about is Anissa and her powers manifesting. I think this is going to be very interesting. Obviously, we're going to see her and her powers manifest before we see China's, I think. Her arc is going to be interesting. We do know that she has a confidant and a friend that she's going to confide in later on in the season, when she realizes that she has these powers. I'd be interested to know if she, goes to her father and asks her father questions or makes the connection that she kind of has similar powers to Black Lightning. That should be interesting to see. And of course, we know that she's going to have a suit because we've seen pictures. Also, just another note, what it seems to be going on here is that their powers are controlled by their emotions. So whenever their emotions, are out of whack, they're angry, they're scared, is when their powers manifest and, exert themselves. So it should be interesting to see, as they will have to try to keep their emotions in check to keep their powers, or learn to keep their emotions in check in order to keep the powers, or to control their powers. Overall, guys, I really, 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 really love this show. I'm excited for the next episode. And as always, guys, follow me on social media. I live tweeted the show, but I don't know if it's necessarily, it's not spoilery per se, but if you want to go back and see what my reactions were to certain things in the episode, you can go onto my Twitter. And as always, guys, happy Tuesday, and let's talk.